Okay, now that the black is dry, I'm going to seal it in with some Weather Defense. So I don't know about you all, but I am getting ready for spooky season, Halloween. I love fall decor, but I also love the whimsical of the Halloween. So in today's video, I was running out. I love to flip through TikTok and look at things that other people are doing, which probably they did them last year. As I found out, as I thought, okay, I can just go into Hobby Lobby and I can pick these pumpkins out. I was early. I did not know that Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and Joann's don't really get their stuff like jack-o'-lanterns or the size of jack-o'-lanterns that I was looking for till like after school starts. There's that. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know that? But anyway, because I was looking for a certain size of one, and I didn't have quite the one in my stash that I had thrifted. I was looking more for a foam one. So here it is. So thrifting at an antique mall. So I have these two pumpkins. So they are foam, and I'm going to share with you all how I'm going to make these over. And the thing that I wanted to be able to get into the pumpkin without having to cut it apart. It's not about the light. I'm probably not even going to use the light in these anymore, but we are going to class these up and make them into beautiful home decor and more neutral, not so bright as the orange. And I know pumpkins are orange, but do they always have to be orange? I don't think so. The first thing I need to do is hopefully be able to remove the screws, and this one only has 2 screws left. But yes, I want to be able to get into the inside. It'll make sense after I paint them, but I needed it to be that foam, that there's a flat surface on the inside of this. So next one. You know, once you get an idea in your head, the vision, you just are like, oh, I have to go out and find it. I had no idea that jack-o'-lanterns weren't out yet. I guess I thought when the fall decor was out, like I could find the carvable ones. So I could do those later, but let's see how these turn out first before I start carving and making some other ones. Never underestimate what you can find at an antique mall. Some antique malls, people have the holidays out year round. So I'm just using a Clorox wipe, just wiping off the gunk off this one. This one's definitely been outside, and so yeah, getting it all cleaned off. Somebody wrote on this one, so this one's perfect because somebody decided it was theirs, which that's okay, because that's perfect for me to be able, that makes it cost efficient. Somebody wrote on it. This one's very dirty. So never underestimate what you can find at a antique store, y'all. It's thrifting. If you're buying secondhand and you're getting a good price, you are thrifting. So I got my pumpkin on my little board. I got my turntable so I can turn it around. And now I'm going to be doing White Swan on this one. So we're just going to paint the whole thing. I don't feel the need to prime it. I don't feel the need to shellac it. The paint is just going to soak right in. We want it to have some age. But I'm going to go ahead and start off in my little crevices, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and get all that little detailed area first. my next pumpkin, I'm going to be doing Little Black Dress. I know we got a black and white theme going on here, but I chose black because I was going to use black anyway, but this one got black because of the person writing their name on it. Y'all know when you come from a family or a large family, you got to name your stuff. Need to flip that to the other side. It's about having fun, creating something new out of something that used to be something else. By whatever, I think it said Mackenzie. I'm not sure what that name said. You tell me what you thought it said if I showed it long enough. I'm going to move on to coat number 2. I just keep my brush in a little baggie, little Ziploc, and then we'll mist this because the clay-based paint is a little bit on the thick side. So that'll really help the second coat go on nice and smooth. So now I've got coat number 2. I mean, it looks like it's painted, but you can still see some of the orange. So we will just go ahead and put 2 coats on to make sure that everything's covered. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. I wanted to find a piece of black vellum, and all I could find is clear. So I'm going to try to spray paint it. We'll see how that works. I don't know if it'll work or if it'll eat away the plastic. Okay, now that the black is dry, I'm going to seal it in with some weather defense. So I know I can't leave these the orange, but after removing the tag off this one, I need to get it cleaned up, remove the light bulb. Remove the light bulb. So I don't want to spray into the element. So I'll kind of just tape that off as best as I can. May not be perfect, but it'll do the job. And then I don't want to tape or paint a lot of the cord, so I'll just tape it off and then put it in a Ziploc bag when I'm spraying. So we'll just stuff it in there. You know, of course, all of it wasn't going to fit. Oh, the things we do. So I'm going to go back in with that enamel flat black and get them sprayed. So my paint stays. I'll be doing some weather defense to seal this in. Now it's time to have the black jack-o'-lantern have some character. Just recently, I did some cinnamon and wax on the sheet planter, and I absolutely loved it. So I can't help myself, y'all. So I have some of the Homestead clear wax. I'm just going to use a paintbrush And I'm going to go along the seams. Where all the little grooves are from the mold of the pumpkin. Work right up. This is what we call playing. We are playing. Okay, that's probably about as much area as I can work with because it'll start to dry and mix with the paint. So I just put some of the cinnamon in a bowl with to make it a little bit easier to shake out. I might be wearing some cinnamon, but that would smell good, right? And I have a dry brush. And I'm just going to work it up, work it down. The towel can catch it all. Seams. I like that pop of the cinnamon color. Nice thing about having a towel, then I can just put it back in the bowl and reuse whatever didn't stick. Right? Yeah, I need to do it sooner. I gotta do section by section. Now I'm going to go back through and like slightly blend my lines so they're not all like, I'm not going to put the wax on as heavy. And then I'm just going to take my brush, whatever is on this, on my dowel, let it pick it up, and kind of blend those in. Plenty of cinnamon to go around. Then you just keep playing with it until you love it. Or are happy with it, one or the other. Like I said, I don't want it to grab super heavy. There. You know how we are. We get into our work, right? I love the cinnamon against black. Oh my gosh. Not only does it smell good, but it's just that pop. Oh, wow. So super easy project so far. Finding the pumpkin is always, the pumpkin was the hardest because I was early in the season apparently. That I have the cinnamon the way that I like it. My wax is probably still a little bit on the wet side, but I'm going to go ahead and seal it in. I think I'm just going to use my Faithful Weather Defense. I probably have to, I have to see what it's going to look like after it's dry to see if I want to do anything else. So now I'm going back through spraying spots, little sections, because Weather Defense dries really fast, to have some lighter color, because when I sprayed it, it darkened it up. I like the two, the dark and the light together. So same cinnamon, just wax is the dark and then the light is with the top. It's nice to kind of like a shading technique. And then it'll stick to that top coat. Now it's time to have some fun. For this one, I'm going to do the splatter paint where you put paint on a brush. Probably going to be messy. Probably should put a glove on, but I don't know. I just don't know if I'll get the control if I put a glove on. Oh, I put a glove on. So have you done the toothbrush thing? Yeah. So yep, you just put it on a toothbrush. My Woodwick, which I'm using some of the Fusions paint to do this, or attempting to do this. You know how paints do that, they get a little thick on you. There we go. See how that's a little better. I feel like a kid playing. Sometimes crafting, DIYing is all about playing. Yeah, I like the watered down a little bit better. I'm doing a little bit of the chocolate. I think the watered down works the best, so I'm going to stick with that. And then I'm going to do some of the coal. Yep, I'm using the same, I'm using the same toothbrush because why not? So if I want to, I thought I could try that. Get a couple little darker spots, but really not have any much on my very flared out stencil brush. It's kind of fun. He's a little bit of a hot mess, but that's what he's supposed to look like. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with some weather defense and seal the whole thing in. Okay, so now this will make sense. For the inside, I want to stick this inside, but I need to cut off like a chunk. It's too much. So I'm hoping I yeah, stick it in there. See, oh my gosh, is that not ever so cool, y'all? So now how am I going to get it to stick, right? So I have some double stick alien tape. Have y'all used this? It's amazing stuff. My sister-in-law turned me on to this. I didn't even know it existed, but I have fixed many paper mache pumpkins that they had their inserts falling down. So that is what I'm going to use. It's super sticky. So if I can leave it behind, that's the catch here. That's why we didn't have to worry about doing the inside. So I'm just going to keep attaching some of it to keep that vellum up. Okay, so now let me see if I can get it on. I've got it in there. That's why I needed one with a hole in the bottom. I'm changing the bulb out. Like this bulb got really, really hot and I'm not sure if it'll melt the vellum. So I put on one of these bulbs. As you see, I'm touching it. So it shouldn't get that hot that it's going to melt that. Safety first. Yeah, I was afraid it was going to melt it. So yeah, I think that should be good. I mean, over time it might. This doesn't have a toggle switch on and off. You have to unplug it every time. But I mean, it is heating up a little bit, but not what that was. I mean, I can still touch it and not get burnt. Now getting it back together. We still have a top to do, but so now I need to make some type of like topper for these. I have multiple things that I can use. I'm trying to see which ones match which ones. So this is just a jute twine that I used for a different project. But you know us crafters, we just keep everything, right? So I think because I like how it makes the curlicues, which looks like a pumpkin that way. So I'm just going to start gluing it on. What little nub is there? It's a little nub. It's not very high, not very tall. So I'm just trying to wrap it up little by little so it can soak into the twine. Then I'm just going to kind of flare these out for right now. So I'm just going to kind of mix some fabrics together and some ribbons, boho, macrame. Just to kind of mix it and have fun. Different textures. I have some drop cloth that's been stained, and I'm going to make a little bit smaller for some different color. Then I've got some lace. I've got some, I'm tie it in a knot. See what it looks like. I didn't like the black in there, so I ended up taking off the black. So, and then I'm just using some pins and hiding them to hold it. I feel like that's doing a better job than trying to glue at the moment. I'll glue it too, but I just want it to stay put so I can play with it and glue it. I'm going to add some Spanish moss, just try to make it so it's not just a lump up there, just the brown one. Of course, I turned my heat gun off and now it's not as hot as I'd like it to be, but okay, I'm still trying to like, I don't love it yet. So I decided to put some of this dried baby's breath in there. I tried to do it off to one side, but I'm like, oh no, it just looks like it's lopsided. And then I put that lightness in there with this, that the top just looked really dark. And I tried a couple different like tops on it, and I did not like them. Just the shape of the pumpkin is a little pointy. And then, you know, once you got it glued on to paint on the foam thing, it's kind of stuck there. So are you all ready for Halloween now? Are you going to hit the thrift stores, even antique stores, and look for some of these plastic foamy pumpkins to make over into your own personal taste? I know mine kind of have the primitive, grungy type of vibe, but I absolutely love how they turned out, especially putting that black paper behind them. Even though you can't light them, I did keep the light in there, but because you can't see through the black. I checked it out. You can't. But well, you can see like the around like that, like little, you know, light will find whatever crevices it can to get through. But I love them. And then I'm not usually so much of a ribbon person all the time. So doing her hair, I thought baby's breath, finished it off, evened it out. I couldn't copy the picture completely because I couldn't do the off-centered. I had to figure out how to add a little bit more, but I thought it turned out super cute. And then leaving the grungy cinnamon is so fun to play with when it comes to black and rust together. Oh my gosh, I absolutely loved it. So give me a quick comment down below. Do you have any in your stash that you could just make over, or are you going to be on the hunt for them while you're out sailing looking for secondhand finds? So again, thanks for watching today's video. And as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you for your comments, your likes, and sharing of our channel, because that really helps get us out there for others to see. And it just warms our heart every time you make a sweet, supportive comment and like these type of videos. If you're new to the channel and you like this kind of content, we're just in the season of Halloween right now of doing fall decor. So if you like this kind of content of making over secondhand pre-loved items, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know if we uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!